A new year, a new decade, new 20 makeup products. Hi guys, so it is now a new year, 2020, and so it is time to start a new product pan. Since this is 2020, I will be including 20 makeup items in this project pan to use up hopefully by the end of the year. Some of these products are pretty much full, some of them I have used in the past, some are actually kind of halfway empty. I still wanted to include them. I do project pan primarily because I don't want for my items to expire, so I normally include the older products rather than the newest ones that I just purchased. Item number one is this transfer from my 2019 project pan. This is the Revlon Sugar Lip Topper. This is an item that is already old, and I definitely need to use it up this year or I have to throw it away, as simple as that. I had thrown stuff away, so I am very much hoping I will use it up quite quickly. I am somewhere here, so there's still about half of this container left. You don't really need much on your lips, so I suspect that it will be a rather slow progress. Nevertheless, this is a beautiful product. It definitely makes a difference to your lips, and so I would use it with pleasure whenever I remember to use it. This year I am including quite a few eyeshadows in my project pan, and the reason stays the same. These are the oldest eyeshadows that I have and I do need to get rid of them somehow. I will include the entire little trio here, but I will count those eyeshadows separately. So this is by number 7. This is so old that there's really no writing on it anymore, and these are just different shades of blue. This little pan, which is the darkest, and this middle shade, and then there's a lightest shade as well, which is in the biggest pan. I have already used some of this product. You can definitely see a little dent in the dark blue one and in the lightest one. Those ones are the ones that I've used the most. There's still plenty of product left. I know that I'm not gonna finish this anytime soon, and I'm okay with that. This is a blue eyeshadow after all. I suspect that it will be many months before I even hit pan on any of those eyeshadows, and I am prepared to stick to these for the rest of 2020, so I'm not expecting a quick progress here. This item is the oldest eyeshadow that I currently have in my collection. It is so old that I'm not even going to tell you how old it is. It is in fact, I suspect, the oldest makeup product that I currently have. It is from Avon. I have not shopped with Avon in years, so you can possibly imagine how old this item is. However, it is still perfectly fine. In fact, it is beautiful. It is lovely, and I genuinely really love this eyeshadow, both of them, as you can see. This one, there's quite a large pan on it, and this one, there's a bit of a dip in the center, but there's still definitely quite a lot of product left. So again, I'm counting these separately, and I am thinking that probably it's not going to take me that long to use these up. This one, as you can see, is half empty already at least, but I in general use this more as a highlight to complement the darker shade. They're both beautiful, they are super soft, they still perform beautifully, so that's why I still dare to use them even though they are really old. There's literally nothing wrong with them. They perform better than some of my eyeshadows that I've purchased recently. And this is the last eyeshadow that I will be including. It's not actually an eyeshadow, it is an eyebrow powder. This is from Collection, and last year I managed to use up this shade here. It's actually a big pan. It's only 1 gram of product, so it says on the packaging, but the pan looks really big to me. And this year I will be using this eyeshadow. I already used it a number of times, I would say, but you can hardly tell I've touched it because it's really hard pressed. It's very pigmented, so you don't need much. On top of that, I am using it only literally to contour my eyes. So I use it in my crease, or to create a crease in my case, so you don't need very much. I suspect that it will be quite a long time before I completely use this product up. Again, I am prepared for that. I am okay with it. It is a necessity in my makeup, so I would still need to use something like this even if I chose a different product. So that is the 6 eyeshadows that I have included in this project pan. It is challenging. On top of that, I in the past would often focus only on the items from my project pan, so I would often neglect my other products, so that's kind of counterproductive because this means that the other products are just lying there getting older, and then I will probably have to include some of them in my future projects pan. So this year I am expecting to have a pretty slow progress on eyeshadows because I want to use them alongside my other items so that I get to use everything in my collection as much as possible, not just the products that are getting older and I want to use up. Item number 8 is this L'Oreal Nude Magique CC Cream anti-redness one, the green one. I feel that I have to include this in this project pan because even though I really like the idea of a CC cream, I just don't really use it enough. So again, I tend to neglect these quite a bit, and this one is oldish already and it's almost full. I used it a few times, a handful of times only, so I would probably count it as a full product and I don't want it to go bad, so I'm gonna be trying to use it as much as possible this year. Maybe I will mix it with my foundation. It depends on how my skin is looking. Perhaps on the days when I don't really wear much makeup, I could possibly just see if I can use this just to even out my skin tone. This is by Clarins and this is the Odyssey, well, it's called Odyssey palette, but it's actually just an Odyssey powder. This is an exception to the rule in terms of what items I include in my project pan videos. This actually is not an old item. It's an okay-ish in terms of the expiry date item. I purchased it a few years ago, yes, but powdered products, they tend to last, and I included it only because I think it makes sense to have one powder for an everyday use. I don't necessarily want to look for a powder every single day, so I kind of use my project pan items as my everyday makeup stash, and so I decided that I wanted to include one powder in it because I will need a powder on an everyday basis. This is almost new. You can still see the embossed pattern on top of the powder. It is still visible. It's actually quite big. It's 11 grams, so I suspect it's gonna be a while before I use it up, but I do like this powder. I just learned that I like it, even though initially I thought I didn't like it. So this is what happens when you start using a product on a semi-regular basis. You decide that actually the product might be a lot better than you anticipated. Now this is by Maybelline and this is the Dream Sun bronzing powder in number 01 Blonde. Now this is, again, not particularly old, but I have a lot of bronzers, so I definitely need to start using some of them up. And this is a really good powder slash bronzer for my everyday use because it's not dark. It's not like some other bronzers that I have that actually make my skin look tanned and a lot darker than my natural shade. This is possibly just a little bit darker than my natural shade, so I think throughout the winter months especially this might be enough for me. I am not expecting to get tanned anytime soon, and this could possibly also substitute a regular powder, so I might just be using it together with that Clarins powder just as an everyday powder. I will see. It's a big powder, there's 16 grams of product and it's almost new, as you can tell, so I suspect it will be again a long time before I've used it up. I'm including two blushes in this project pan. The number 1 blush is by L'Oreal and this is a mineral blush. This is a loose blush. As you can see, the container is cracked, so I do have to use it up before it completely falls apart. And it might seem like there's not much product left because you can only see this bit here, but this product takes a long time to make progress with at all. And I know that even though it might seem like it's not much product there, it's probably going to be a number of months. I would say probably 3-4 months maybe before I actually use it up completely. It's a very pretty, very easy to use product. It's just that it's not very convenient for me to carry it around because the container is cracked. It's one of my oldest powder blushes, and also it has a sifter here, which I don't usually use. I can't possibly get the product from the sifter onto my cheeks. It's just not convenient. So I actually use a brush cup, a brush lid as a container where I put some of this loose blush and then I just dip a brush in that container. It just makes the whole application process a lot easier. The second blush is by Maybelline and this is Expert Wear Blush in 67 Pinky Gold. I believe this is the oldest blush that I currently have, and that's why I'm including it in this project pan. You can see there's a big pan in the middle, but with blush you really don't need much, so I suspect it will be a long while before I've used it up. I need to use it up because this is really old, so I do have to use it up sooner rather than later. And it's actually a really beautiful color. It's pink with gold, so it's got a little bit of shimmer, which I like. So it is really nice to wear on an everyday basis. Another oldie. This is by L'Oreal Glam Bronze Sun Radiance Trio for blondes. As you can see, the packaging is already broken. There is a big pan in the center because I used to use it a long time ago as a bronzer, and then more recently I used the highlight. There's still a lot of product left. I would use it only as a highlighter because this does give you a glow, so I can't imagine using it in any other way. And with a highlight you don't need much product to create a highlight on your face, so this is again one of those products that I suspect I will be using for quite some time. Originally this product had 11 grams. I suspect that now it's more than half used up, so I'd say probably about 5 grams of product, but try to use up 5 grams of highlighter in 1 year. I am including one nail polish this year, and this is by OPI, and the name of it is Chiffon My Mind. This again is an exception to my usual Project Pan rules. This is not an old nail polish. I got it I think maybe a year or 2 years ago. Quite honestly, I just don't really like it. It takes a lot of layers to see the color, and I think that I just can't be bothered with this nail polish, so I'm gonna be using it on my toes for however long it might take to use it up. As you can tell, it's almost full. I am gonna mark it for the update, but that's where I'm at, more or less. But it does take quite a few coats to really see the color, so I suspect it's not gonna be too long before I'm done with this item. This is a brown eyeliner pencil. It's a generic one. I don't really know the brand. It's very old. It is in a nice shade of brown, and I do like to use it for my eyebrows, even though it was meant to be an eyeliner pencil, but it really doesn't matter. I have used up about half of its size. There's still quite a bit left, and I don't really seem to need that much for my eyebrows, so I suspect it will be a few months before I've used it up, but it does really work for me for my eyebrows because of the color, and it's also waterproof, although I am not going to be testing that anytime soon. I am in the process of really trying to use up as many of my eyeliner pencils as possible because a lot of them I purchased quite a while back and they are not gonna last forever, although they do last a long time. I just don't feel that I really need as many brown eyeliner pencils as I currently have, and some of them I haven't even used in months or even years. This is another eyeliner pencil. This is by Max Factor. It used to be a lot longer, so this is probably half the original size. It's in black. I use it when I just want to emphasize my blushes, and I don't really care if it smudges or not because I don't use it as a proper eyeliner. This again is a little bit older. I really don't feel like I need very many black eyeliner pencils. I don't really use them every single day. I currently have, I think, at least one more, and this again is a little bit older, so I've decided it would make sense to just use this one up. There's not much left, and then just keep one because I don't really need all that many. Another product for my eyebrows, and this is by, I believe, L'Oreal. There's no writing on it anymore, so you have a gel and you have a pencil on this side. I'm gonna concentrate only on the gel because I suspect it will be very many months before I've used it up, and I kind of like having an eyebrow gel. I kind of started to use more products for my eyebrows these days. I do notice the difference, and this actually is one of the oldest products that I have. I can't even remember when I've purchased it, so I do need to use it up and get rid of it, and Project Pan is exactly where I can do that. One more product for my nails. This time it's a Miss Sporty Peel Off Base Coat. So if you watched in the past Simply Nailogical videos where she used to do stuff with nails, she used to use peel off coats a lot, and in the UK you don't really get very many peel off coats, so it wasn't really possible for me to find the ones that she used, but I found this one and I thought I would give it a go. I don't think I was very impressed because I used it maybe once or twice, but again, I just don't want it to be sitting in my collection for no reason at all, so I do want to start start using it. I think it might help me remove, let's say, glitter from my nails. Any person who has ever had glitter nail polish on their nails will know that it is a pain to remove the nail polish afterwards, and I'm thinking that maybe if I use the peel off base, maybe it will make this job easier. It's only 8 milliliters, but I don't anticipate using it every single time I apply nail polish, so I'm giving myself at least 6 months to use this product up. In this project I am including 2 Revlon lipsticks, and I'll tell you why. Both of these lipsticks are from the HD range. One is in 830 Rose and the other one is 825 Hydrangea. The rose one is actually almost done, I would say. As you can probably tell, there's not much left, but I don't wear lipstick on an everyday basis, even though it's a really neutral kind of color. I have had this lipstick for a while and I think I just don't love it enough to use it with joy, and so I just want to get rid of it. The other one in Hydrangea, that is a little bit bigger. I used it not very many times, and the reason for that is because it's actually quite bright and a lot darker, so I can't really wear it with just about everything. But I do think that this will go really well with my lip topper, again from Revlon, so that's why I've included this lipstick in my project pan. Again, I'm afraid it will go bad. Lipstick will stay fine for a few years depending on the brand. This one is kind of getting really old. It's probably one of my older lipsticks at this point. I don't have very many very old lipsticks, but looking at my collection I would say that these 2 are probably in the top 10 that is the oldest. And this is it, guys, for the intro video. This is 20 makeup and I suppose nail products that I have included for this year. Most of them I feel will stay with me for the majority of this year, which I am perfectly fine with. I will try to film updates frequently because I also want to keep track of what I'm using up. Also, there is one thing that I wanted to mention about this project, and that is I will be including replacements. However, because I don't want to get overwhelmed, and as I've previously mentioned, I would like to be able to use some of my other products which are not in the project pan, what I'm going to be doing is I will be replacing items only once I've used up 2 of the current items. So let's say if I were to use up these 2 products, I will be replacing them with 1 product. This way my project pan bundle should be shrinking towards the end of the year, even though I will actually be introducing new products. I don't want to be replacing every single product I use up. I don't think it's feasible, or in my case probably won't be very enjoyable. If I replace 2 used up products with 1, that means I could start using more of my other products from my regular makeup collection more frequently, and I don't really have to rush to finish anything up. This is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you enjoy project pan videos, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, and please like this video if you liked it, and I do hope to see you in my next one. Bye, guys.